Southern California in the 90s, well, that was a different era. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Today I wanted to do a video. I wanted to try to put us in the mind of Suge Knight. So with this new testimony, with this trial of Keefe, the AKA the Tupac murder, right? We've learned a lot. Before we get into that though, let's go back. For those of you that were around, you remember this. For those of you that are young and don't know, but you love Tupac's music and you're following and you clicked on this, let me take you back. We're gonna start in the mid to late 80s. Crack cocaine, it hit, and it hit hard. With crack cocaine came higher caliber weaponry and in abundance. There are a lot of theories on where those weapons came from, where the drugs came from, and we'll just leave that out. But just know this, mid to late 80s, crack hit, the guns hit, the gang banging became a whole lot deadlier and a whole lot more rampant. Going into the 1990s, crack cocaine was so bad that a lot of barrios in Southern California made it a rule in the neighborhood. We find you smoking that shit, you're gonna get hurt. You do it again, you're gonna get jumped out. You're not from the neighborhood no more. That's how serious it was. It also became very, very lucrative. Crack cocaine was in such an abundance in LA County that a lot of the gang members realized if they just moved their operation or part of their operation outside of Los Angeles, and especially outside of California, they could quadruple their profits. Easy. That's why you see in different parts of the United States, you see some crib gangs, you see some blood gangs, and it all stemmed from the crack trade. Now, in the 90s, again, having seen the crack sales, having them be in place, having crackheads all over the place, gang members all over the place, shootings all over the place, gang banging was at an all-time high. Homicides, shootings, stabbings, violence. The prison rate went up. And guess what the soundtrack to that world was? Rap. So here comes Suge Knight with an idea. Suge Knight had been, around the industry. He had been doing bodyguard work. Suge Knight wasn't a gangbanger, but Suge Knight knew some real tough people out of Compton. He had an idea. Now, if we want to believe Keefe D, if you want to listen to Keefe D, he told the cops that Harry O and some other people, they supplied Suge Knight with some drug money to create Death Row Records. Suge Knight wanted to change the whole hip hop industry. According to D, Suge Knight was just laundering money. So you look at Suge Knight. According to Keefe D, Suge Knight ran all the coke, all the drug trade in the north side of Compton. However, in the south side of Compton, Keefe D allegedly ran that. So you have two dudes that are supposedly kingpins. We've heard a lot of stories about Keefe D being a dope dealer. We haven't heard a lot of stories about Suge Knight being a dope dealer. However, Suge Knight, again, he knew a lot of dangerous people, the Mob Pyrus. So he surrounded himself with Mob James and his brother, rest in peace, Buntry. They organized a crew together and they intimidated a lot of people. Suge Knight was living in a world where he was creating enemies every day. And I'm sure the paranoia built up. He had the feds after him, the DEA after him, the ATF after him, the local police after him. Shit, after the killing of Tupac, he also had the Vegas PD after him. But imagine, now that we know, in 1998, the cops pull up on, or the feds pull up on Keefe D with some questions about Tupac. And Keefe D decided he just wanted to talk about Suge Knight, Death Row, Buntry, Harry O, Mob James, Reggie Wright Sr., Reggie Wright Jr., and everybody else. Forget about Tupac. I feel like Keefe D wanted to take over all of Compton, and Suge Knight was in the way. And instead of handling it like a gangster and getting him out the way the gangster way, he was trying to utilize the feds, the cops, and anybody else. Now, Suge Knight was not innocent as far as Mob James has made it clear that in his eyes, Suge Knight was playing the Mob Pirus against each other, and Buntry, he got caught in the middle. I can't say that what Suge Knight was doing was cool, was fair, but if I take a step back, I could see someone being paranoid, that he couldn't trust anybody. This dude could be telling, that dude could be telling. Both are killers. So what do? He pits them against each other in order to survive. So let's look at it now. All these years later, Keefe D's been exposed as a rat. Keefe D used law enforcement to try to handle his business. Keefe D wrote a book and then did a bunch of interviews to sell it, all the while smiling away with that gap-toothed mouth, putting himself in the car with the shooter. Some people think Keefe D is actually the shooter. I don't see it in him. I don't see it in his eyes. I can tell you that the first time I ever heard an interview with Keefe D, I was extremely unimpressed. That's proof and how powerful money is, how much influence money can get you. I don't feel like Keefe D can use 3-syllable words or even spell them. And yet he was allegedly, according to him, pushing a whole lot of weight. He was the new Freeway Ricky Ross. He had the plug and he was doing whatever he wanted. I look at these two dudes and I kind of see Suge Knight and Keefe D as two sides of the same coin. However, we've never heard that Suge Knight utilized the feds. What I'm saying when I say two sides of the same coin, when it comes down to it, I don't think either one of them was really a tough guy. Suge built a reputation and had an entire coast scared of him, not the West Coast. He had a whole coast scared of him, not because of anything he had personally done, but things that were done around him and things that people attributed to him. How much of it was really him? I don't know. But he came the hip-hop boogeyman. Death Row was a soundtrack for criminality all up and down the West Coast. Look at him now. Suge Knight is old and gray and miserable in prison. Keefe D is old, miserable, and exposed on his way to prison. At the end of the day, hopefully people see this story for what it really is, man. A waste. These dudes, both of them, touched millions. Look at them now. Suge don't have that money. Keefe D, he sold out for a book and some interviews. Now he's gonna die in prison. That's my video for today, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.